Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Business Hub. The Wealth of Nations, first published in 1776 during the Scottish Enlightenment and Agricultural Revolution, is Smith's seminal work, in which he analyzes what constitutes the wealth of a country and reasons why certain nations obtain more per capita wealth than others. It's one of the most important books ever written because it introduced the new economic principles that continue to govern the world today. In The Wealth of Nations, Smith responds to societal conditions at the outset of the Industrial Revolution and argues against the then prevailing economic philosophy of mercantilism. He instead advocates a laissez-faire economic system. Today's topic of discussion is The Wealth of Nations, the 5 most important lessons from Adam Smith. Number 1. Preserve your impartial judgment. To remain calm and ethical, Smith urges everyone, including politicians, to consult their impartial spectator. To invoke this ideal judge, we step outside of ourselves and view our behavior from a distance. This process, Smith explains in The Theory of Moral Sentiments, is especially critical in a nation distracted by faction, where only a few preserve their judgment untainted by the general contagion. Today's hyper-partisan environment is the target of Rep. Justin Amash, in his recent statement about leaving the Republican Party, says the escalating feuds with Democrats have taken the place of the real work of government. The parties value winning for its own sake and at whatever cost. Number 2. Resist the pleasure of special interests. Embracing the free market means avoiding crony capitalism. As Smith notes in The Wealth of Nations, one of the major obstacles to free markets is the alliance of political leaders and particular businessmen. He condemns laws which the clamor of our merchants and manufacturers have extorted from the legislature for the support of their own absurd and oppressive monopolies. Smith's point applies to all special interests, not simply manufacturers. Favoring one business or group over other harms the taxpayers for whom politicians work. That's right, politicians' sweet deals with the sugar industry leave a sour taste in consumers' mouths. Number 3. Reach for the invisible hand. Rather than focusing on handouts, politicians should reach for the invisible hand. Smith uses this term for the process by which individuals acting in their own interests are, without realizing it, contributing to a larger system that benefits everyone. In The Theory of Moral Sentiments, Smith argues that the rich indulge in luxuries, but their pursuit of wealth leads to products the poor also enjoy. Without intending it, the wealthy thereby advance society's interests. He expanded this idea in The Wealth of Nations, arguing that in his work, a man intends only his own gain, and he is, in this as in any other cases, led by an invisible hand to promote an end which was no part of his intention. By pursuing his own interests, he frequently promotes that of the society more effectually than when he really intends to promote it. Smith's Wealth of Nations documents how the invisible hand enables wealth to grow, and subsequent economists have confirmed what Smith knew. Capitalism makes us more prosperous. In The Bourgeois Virtues, Deirdre McCloskey notes that since 1800, the world's population has increased by a factor of 6. Furthermore, the amount of goods and services produced and consumed by the average person on the planet has risen since 1800 by a factor of about 8.5. Number 4. Focus on constituents, not the beauty of your new systems. Politicians also lose perspective as they design systems to fix society's problems. Poverty, inequality, healthcare, student debt, our politicians have sweeping solutions to all of these problems, as was evident in the first and second Democratic primary debates of 2019. Smith warns that the man of the system comes to ignore the reality of individual lives, imagining he can manipulate them like pieces on a chessboard. People have their own ideas and either depart from a plan or reject it altogether. Political extremism helps no one, and the violence of party, by requiring too much too frequently, obtains nothing. Number 5. Remember the true role of government. Finally, remember that our government exists to do what citizens cannot do well for themselves. For instance, Smith argues that a key role of the government is to defend citizens from foreign threats. That is necessary in an age of advanced weapons. Government is also responsible for a justice system that defends our rights and property. Anyways guys, unfortunately that's all we have time for today, because that does bring us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, please do watch one of the 2 videos you see on screen right now, because I pretty much know that you'll love them. With that being said guys, as always, I'll see you in the next video.